So should I put my chair so it's looking at you?
You just bring it slightly forward, just so I can see your posture, and then that's perfect. Thank you. Perfect. And if we're going to start sitting on the chair, that's it. And
I'll lift it up a little bit.
And if you have a little cushion or something, you can pop it in your back, just that you can feel that you're sitting upright, especially if you've got shorter legs and the seat is quite deep.
So where do you put the cushion, did you say?
That's perfect. That's perfect. All right, so in that position, you're going to feel all the time as you're working that you're going to be lifting your sternum. So that's why having the cushion behind, if you do have one, but you've got a good back support, yeah, that's fine. So that you're sitting upright. When we're working with your legs, everything comes from your center. So we'll be working from your abs to lift the legs, and then obviously having your shoulders connected down. So before we start, we're going to inhale. And as you breathe out, I want you to visualize that you're pulling in your belly button into the cushion behind or into the chair. And then we're going to inhale again. And as you breathe out, visualize that you're still connecting that belly button as you're breathing out. This time, we're going to inhale. And as you breathe out, you're going to feel a connection, and we're going to lift your right leg up just to hip height, and we're going to pop it back down again. As you inhale and breathe out, keep the connection as you lift your left leg and back down. I recommended to Karen the other day, if you find that you prefer standing to do this, it is more challenging, that you can do that. So breathe out and lift and back down. And breathe out and lift. So you're coming from your ab connection and back down. And also think as you lift that leg that you're actually pulling it into the socket. So you're not extending it, you're shortening it and pulling it in by using abdominals and back down. And breathe out and lift. And back down. And breathe out and lift. And back down. One more time as you breathe out and lift. And back down. Now we're going to straighten that right leg. And we're going to, again, pull the leg into a socket. We're going to lift. And I'm just carrying my chair. And I'm going to put my leg back on the bottom of my leg. Then I lift using my abdominals and pop it back down. And lift. And back down. And you've got 4 more. As you lift. And back down. So breathe out as you lift. And 3. And back down. And 2. And back down. And 1. And take it all the way down. And we lift up the left leg. So lifting it up. And again, so you're going to keep it straight. Or if you find that too hard, put it down and lift. But if you're okay to challenge yourself more, we're going to keep it straight, then lift the bottom of the leg off the chair and then back on the chair. That's it. So let's go. We're going to breathe out, connect your abs as you lift and back down. And you lift. And back down. And you lift. And back down. So my quads are doing a lot of work. And we do 3 more. And back down. And 2. And back down. And 1. And take it all the way back down. We're going back to the right leg. And we're going to lift the leg and turn the big toe out. And as you're turning it outwards, we can imagine, so whether it be at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, we're going to look, as you're working now, especially if you've got knee problems, we're going to find that you're working into the inside of the leg, and we're going to keep that leg in the center of your body, connecting your abs again, and we're going to lift again, just like you did, but my big toes out. And breathing out as you lift, and in. Breathing out, and in, and out. That's it, and in, and out. So make sure that your buttocks stays where you are, and that you're working the abs to lift the leg. You got 3 more, and back down. And 2, if you're standing, feel that you're standing in the center between your 2 legs, that you're not feeling that you're popping your hip out. So that's it, you're going well. And 1 more. And back down. Take it all the way down and lift up the left leg. Bring it into the center of your body. And again, sit up tall, pull the legs into your socket. and we lift and back down. So keep it straight if you want to challenge yourself. Otherwise, you're going to lift and then bend it back all the way to the floor. So that's your choice. Breathing out and back down. And lift and back down. 3 more. As you lift, back down. That's it. And 2, lifting from your abs and back down. And then your last one is you lift and take it all the way back and taking the right leg. And now we've done straight, we've done turned out. We're going to turn it in. And as you lift it out, so I'm going to turn my big toe all the way in. And from here, we're going to lift it again, back down. So I'm working the outside of the leg. If you suffer from, you know, from bursitis or something, be careful with this. Although I'm working my quad, watch that you don't, you know, you don't feel your hip joint. You've got 4 more as you lift, take it down. And 3, take it down. And 2, take it down. And 1, good job. Then it's challenge. Just lift the other leg up to match it. Obviously, Karen can't. That would be very good if you could. And take the leg down. Turn it in. And here we go. As we lift, take it back down. And we lift. And back down. So this leg, I can feel my glutes on the outside working right here. So 4 more. And down. And 3. And down. And 2. And down, and 1, ta-da, that's it. Now those exercises are perfect if you are working at a desk, you know, that you can push away from a desk and you can work your quads, and that's something that you can do quickly during a quick break, and then carry on working. So next one we're going to do, we can stand up, and all these things we're doing, you can be able to do, you know, at a desk. Whoops, I'm talking about chair, you can do at a desk. That you know, you don't need anything else. We're going to stand. I see I've decapitated myself, but you know what I look like. So this time we're going to, either if you want to face forward or face side on, we're going to squat. Oh, I'm going to do my lunges first. So I actually want to show you, can I change my mind? Sit down, please. I'm jumping the gun. I wasn't do squat standing, but would have been seated. So from here, your feet are going to be pretty close to your chair, but don't get them underneath your butt. So take them forward, push through your heels, lift your belly button to your spine, and we're going to stand. All right, now we're going to push back, and I'm just going to turn sideways. You're going to push your hips backwards by lifting your abs. That's it. As if you want to sit in the public men's loo and you don't want to touch the seat, and then you sit down. Now I don't mind if you push through your hands to put up, but eventually you'll have your hands in front and you won't need them. Push through your heels as you work your coming through your glutes to push up, and your quads. When you're ready, inhale, breathe out and push up through your heels. Inhale, sitting down. That's it. Breathe out and push. Whoops, with push up through your heels, not like that. And inhale, coming down. Another thing, keep going. We're going to push up through your heels. I want you to be mindful that you're tracking your knee down your shin to your second toe, that you're not getting up with buckled knees. Okay, that weakens your knees. So keep tracking the hip distance apart, and you sit down again. Let's go for another 4. Push through your heels as you stand. Hip hinge it back and sit down again. And push as you 3. So this is your breath. Breathing out as you stand. Inhale, hip hinge and back. And 2, push through your heels as you stand. Inhale, sit back and down. Last one, inhale, push through your heels and hold it. Inhale, sit back with your heels and back down. Good job. So that will depend on you. You can either do 5 or 10, have a break and do another 10, or you can do all these exercises and then come back and repeat them all over again. So it depends entirely on you. Now we'll do the lunges that I was going to say. I'm just going to move my chair sideways. With earlier Karen was saying, let me tilt the camera down, but earlier Karen was saying that having a lunging, it's quite difficult having your feet wide. So imagine that you have a mat and my feet are on the front foot is going to be on the front inside of the mat and the back foot on the back. And I'm not standing one from the other and they're wide. So they're as wide as my hips. All right. Your weight is between your two legs. So again, don't never let your knee go over my knot of my shoes. So keep your legs between your two legs. And we're going to bend the back leg down. And make sure both your feet are facing forward. And then stand. Bend your knee and stand. I'm just going to turn my back to you. So watch the back foot just lifts off the floor and stays there. So you don't have to push up and down your back foot. And again, bend. Big step backwards and back up. That's it. And we go for another 3 and breathe out as you stand. And 2, don't let your front knee go over. So come between your legs or make your legs wider. And up. And 1 more bend. And up. Zip up your abs and step forward. We're going to go step back with the other leg. So and also it helps. So you can have a chair handy. And also if you look in front of you, squat on something and keep your eyes on that. Separate your feet. Both feet are tracking forward. And from here, turn sideways. And we're going to bend your knees. And feel like I'm standing. I'm pulling from the top of your head, going straight up. And bend down again. And back up. And bend down. Make sure your back foot's turned in. Your hips are closed. They're facing inwards. Not opening. Close it back hip. And down. And up. And we do 3 more. 3. Keep your weight backwards a little bit for Janelle. So your weight's in your front heel. And up. And 2. Yes, you load the back leg. Whoops. And back up. And 1. And back up. Inhale where you are. And step up. Now that's a very practical exercise. If you were gardening, you could be gardening this way. And the other thing is, as you mature, you might find that you might have a fall. How do you get up from the floor upwards? You'll be able to roll to your side and push up. So it's a very functional exercise to be able to get up. Our next one we're going to do, we are going to be holding onto your chair. We're going to do 2 hamstring, 1 hamstring, 1 glute exercise. I'm just going to lift the camera up a bit.
She's gone for a second. She was trying to say something.
Oh. Oh. All right. So we're going to put our knees together. Now, Karen, this is something that you can do and put a small hand weight here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that but you'll obviously have to keep your knee bent.
Yeah.
So that's something you can do. You can even put a cushion there if you like. Keeping your eyes lifted. And from here, keeping a little smarty between your knees, right? And you're going to flex the back foot. So you can't go all the way to the floor. So you're going to hold it there. So you're going to bring it up towards your glutes and relax it slightly. You're going to lift and back down. And re-lift and back down. And re-lift. That's it. So you can't go all the way down because the hand weight will fall out. And we got 4 more. And back with your foot flex. It works the hamstring and back down. And 2 and back down. And 1. Keep lifting your abs and back down. And that's it. Let's go the other side. So Janelle, I was saying to Karen, that this is one that you can actually put a hand weight here. And you curl up, but you can't go obviously all the way to the floor because the weight will fall out. Yeah. So again, we inhale, knees together, and bring the foot back up towards your glutes and back down. Eye level up and shoulders down and lift the abs up and back down. Breathe out and back down and breathe out and down. 3 more and 3 and back down and 2 and down. And 1. That's it. And all the way down. Okay, taking the weight out And we are going to go, this is another one we're going to do for your glutes. So if you have a elastic band, some of you might have it at home, one of these bands, you can tie them in a loop and you can do the next exercise with that. If you don't, it's not a train smash.
All right, I've got one. I'll grab it.
Go grab it. As I said, I'll do with the band and I'll show you without. So this one, you're going to push backwards slightly and back. Push back slightly and back.
Yeah.
Push back, they give this turn.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so from here, if you don't have an elastic, you're going to push back, squeeze the glute and back. And push back and squeeze and back. Breathe out and in. As you're doing this, I'm just going to face forward. Don't slouch into the opposite hip. Come up and pull your muscles upwards as you slide back. Hold it for a split second. Squeeze the buns and recover. Don't come past the other foot. Squeeze and back. 2 more. Squeeze and back. And 1. Squeeze and back. Let's change legs and breathe out. And squeeze back and just tip it down. And squeeze back. And again, watch just sliding into the supporting leg. Pull up your muscles and work between the 2 legs. Squeeze back and tip. And squeeze the buns and back. And squeeze the buns and back. 2 more. Squeeze the buns and back. And 1 more. And back down. Good job. From this position, we're going to do your, just like we did in our Pilates class, you can keep your band with you, Janelle. And this time, same as like when we lay down, we lifted our leg, the same exercise. So we're going to lift the right leg to the side, and we're going to lift up, flex the foot, point the foot, come back down, but don't put your weight on it. So lift, point, and back. Lift, point, and back. Imagine that you're pushing against, against a wall that is heavy to pull back. So resist as you push, point, and back. And we push, point, and back. 2 more. Watch the supporting side. Don't slide into it. Your leg will get tired. So pull your muscles up, flex, point, and down. And last one, flex, point, and down. And we're going to the other leg. Now you can challenge yourself by doing 2 exercises together. But for the moment, while we're showing you doing it, I'll show you what to do. So we're lifting the other side. So we flex and point, take it down. And flex, point, take it down. Again, flex, point, take it down. 4 more. And as you flex, make sure your big toe is facing forward to expose the outer thigh. So do not turn your leg out because it's a different exercise. And 4, point, and down. And 3, point, and down. Keep pulling up the opposite muscle, don't slouch into it. And 1, point, and come back to the right side. This is the one that if you want to challenge yourself, you do the flex, pointing down, then you do the circles straight away. So we've alternated so that you know that that's what you're going to do. But if you want to challenge yourself, you do the same leg, 2 exercises, lifting it up. And so in circling backwards in 2, 3, and it's not high, 4, 5, just off the floor, 6, 7, 8, 9, change direction, and circling 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, watch your supporting leg, 5, and 6, pull them up, and 7, and 8, and 9, and the movement comes from the hip joint, keep your foot still, and close it, and the other side. We're going to lift. Again, make sure that both your hips are facing forward. And we can circle, circling 1. It doesn't matter which one you're doing. 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9. Change direction. And if you find, oh, this is too hard, I can't do both forward and back in one go, then do the forward circle, and then stop and do the other leg, and then come back to it. And as you come to the side, keeping your hips square, give me 3 more so that you're not opening the hip. for 2, and 1. Good job. And that's it. Yes, give it a bit of a wiggle. Karen's giving us a wiggle. So now, on Tuesday, we did an exercise and then we stretched. We did another exercise and we stretched. Tonight, we're doing all the exercises together and then we're going to stretch. So last one we're doing is just our calves. So we're going to face the chair or away, depending how stable you feel. So again, if you want to challenge yourself, Janelle's being very good, she's not touching, but we can have your fingertips on this arm or without. Feet are facing forward as wide as your hip. And we're going to lift up onto all toes and make sure that you are not failing, or you're favoring the inside or the outside of your feet and back down. So we rise up on all your toes. Feel that you are tracking knee, shin to the second toe and back down. Let's do another 4. Squeeze the calf and back down. And squeeze up the calf. We feel the muscle and back down. And 2, squeeze and back down. And 1 more, squeeze and back down. Let's turn the toes out. Hopefully Karen will give me some ballet fingers. Your heels are together, your toes are apart. And if you are barefoot, I want you to feel that you're closing up all the holes. Obviously, if you've got shoes on, your heels will be in the way with your shoes. And wrap your legs around. Right, so we're closing up, pulling up the muscles. When you're ready, we're going to rise up. And my knees are now tracking outwards and back down. Rising up and back down. And rising up and back down. And breathe out. Keep your spot if you are going without a chair. That's it. We're going to go for 4 more. And back down. And see if you can wear stiletto. So really go as far as your foot would bend. And back down. We all got different arches. And 3. And back down. And 2. Squeeze the calf. Push through the toes. And back down. And your last one. Squeeze up. Good job. And back down. Just like we did just now on our lunges, we're going to go into our stretching section. So we're going to step as wide as your mat would be and just push that back heel down. I'm just going to move sideways, you see. So drive that back leg all the way down. And my front leg, just like I said just now, don't let your knee go over. So between the 2 legs and drive that heel down. Your back foot is flat. And we're going to hold that. We would normally hold it for like 30 seconds. So as you're doing that, feel that you are working that calf, but you're relaxing into that stretch. And we're going to hold it now for 8 more, and 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to take that back foot, bring it in and tuck it underneath you and put that heel down again. So I'm stretching down into my Achilles. And if you want a double whammy, so put the back heel flat and you can make it shorter and you can tuck the pelvis underneath you to get a hip flexor stretch. So you've got a double whammy. So the Achilles and the hip flexor. Hold it there for 4 more. Lift the chest for 3 and 2 and 1. Zip up your abs. We're going to swap legs and step back again the other side into your calf stretch as wide as your mat and drive the back heel down. Holding it there for 8 and 7. 6, make sure the back heel's on the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, zip up the abs, make it shorter, keep it still wide, and push the heel down and tuck the pelvis underneath you to get the Achilles and the hip flexor. Hold that there for 4. And 3, make sure your back foot is facing forward still. If it like nothing's changed, feet are still forward for 2 and 1. Zip up your abs and step up. Well done. Now, from that position, we're going to stretch your quads while you're standing. If you can manage, you're going to collect your ankle and draw it up. So I'm going to just hop so that your knees are facing each other or squeezing next to each other. If you can't, hold it there. The other option is to put your foot on a chair and then just step forward and you can feel the stretch. Hold it there for 8 more, and 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that same leg. We're going to lift up our abs and we're going to put the foot on your chair. We're going to lift your chest and we're going to hip hinge it forward from here. That's it. So watch it, bring your upper body down, but lift your chest and you find your feet. And the big toe is in the middle of your chest. So watch you don't turn that foot out. Keep it straight. Hold that more. Hold that more. Delicious English. Hold that for another 10 and 9. 8. You want to have hamstrings that are not tight, because the tight hamstrings will pull on your glute, and the tight glute will pull on your back. Hold it for 2 and 1. Good job. And let's go to the other quad. So we're going popping it up, knees together. And also make sure that even though, so from the front view, if I was looking at you, that you will have your knees together, that you wouldn't, I'd say, put my knees together, but my foot comes out the side. So I should be able to see your foot. So keep your knee, that's it. Keep your knees together and the foot by your buttocks. And again, if you find that too hard, put your foot on the chair and you'll just step forward for your quad stretch. Hold that, another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And you can also, if you like, take it into pelvic tilt and take it a little further back. You get a deeper stretch. All right, so releasing that foot. And then we're going to sit on our back on our chair. And we're going to do our glute stretch. This is your last one. Crossing your foot over your supporting leg. So don't let the whole ankle come across. You're resting your foot onto the supporting leg. Lift your chest and lean slightly forward. So I'm not rounding my back. I'm coming forward from my hips and I'm lifting my chest. That enhances the stretch. And if you find you don't have much of a stretch, then you're going to flex this foot as well. You might pull it backwards a bit. But otherwise, this should be enough if you're coming forward enough. Holding that for another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Taking that same knee, pull it, crush your body into your chest, my opposite shoulder. That's it, pull in your opposite shoulder. You'll feel the body stretching. As I said, we should hold these stretches for 30 counts each. Hold it for 4 and 3 and 2 and relax. Let's swap legs. Crossing over, just that the foot is free. Lift your chest and lean slightly forward. And if you need a bit more of a stretch, you can put your elbow onto that knee and help it down, but don't pop the other hip out to keep your glutes in the center. Lift the chest a bit more, relax your shoulders. Hold that for 4 and 3 as you relax into it for 2 and 1. And that, ladies, is an express leg program. So that's it. Do you have any questions?
No, that was good.
Right.
Yeah.
Because as I said, if you want to challenge, you don't have to sit. You can stand and you can do those exercises, lifting up and hold, up, from here, straight legs, turned out, turned in, so that you can, challenge yourself. But for this, if it's your first time that you're exercising, seated is perfect as long as you're working from your abdominals.
Yeah.
So that's all good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll stop recording.
Mm-hmm.
So, oops.